Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Rishi, and in this video we are taking a look at a brand new chapter from Form 5, Chapter 2, Matrices. This is a new chapter which is kind of fun, kind of interesting, but trust me, it is much easier compared to most of the other topics. So without any further ado, let's jump right in. So for matrices, I have separated the videos into 4 different parts. Firstly, what is matrix? Second one is the basics, operation, and problem. These are 4 parts of this chapter that we will be covering in a 3-part series. There will be 3 parts, 3 videos, so make sure you watch them one by one to get a full understanding on how to approach this topic. And in this video, we will be covering 2 of the main ones, which the first is what is matrix and the basics. For those of you who are wondering why did I use the word matrix here and matrices here, because matrix refers to one and matrices refers to many. They are just singular plural. So let's begin. So what is it? What is Matrix? Matrix is not the movie. Yeah, that's a reference to an old movie by Keanu Reeves. But I don't think most of you will even know the movie. Why do I sound so old? Okay, that's not the point. Moving on. What is Matrix? Matrix is when there is a set of numbers arranged in rows where set of numbers are arranged in rows or columns for calculation, but these calculations are not commonly conducted by humans. This is the way we feed information into computers, and this is how computers handle number arrays. We call them arrays, where they use this method to calculate efficiently. Of course, for humans, this might seem like a workaround compared to how our normal mathematical way works, but for computers this is the most efficient way. You have to understand that the human brain is much more powerful enough to make the connections when we are solving a mathematical question, but for computers they require something much more straightforward in order for them to answer or solve any kind of calculations. So it's important for you to know just this part, that this is a form of number array system that is fed into computers for them to calculate. That's all you have to know. And it's important to make the distinction where these arrows are rows and these arrows refer to the columns, and each number inside the set of numbers inside this particular matrix is known as element. We call them elements or elements, depends on which accent you use. So this is the overview of what matrix is. Now that we're done with matrix, let's go to the basics of matrix. So by basics, I mean the types. So there are 4 types of matrices. First type is known as row matrix. Row matrix refers to a matrix, just as the name suggests. This matrix only has rows. and it's mostly in the form of a singular row. So we will have, for example, 1 3 4 8, and that's the end of the matrix. When this is a matrix, there are 4 elements, 1 3 and 1 3 4 and 8. This is known as the row matrix. So in contrast to this, when we have something that is known as column matrix, instead of being horizontal, there will be a single line of numbers vertically. So let's use the same number. We will have 1 3 4 and 8. That's vertical. So when it's in horizontal positions, it's known as row matrix, and when it's vertical, it's known as column matrix. And there are 2 more variants. We have square matrix. Square matrix is when the number of columns and the number of rows are equal to each other. So for instance, if we have 2 4 7 8, here we have 2 columns and 2 rows. So since the number of rows and columns are equal to each other, this is known as a square matrix. It's quite self-explanatory actually, because it looks like a square. And then all the other type of matrices are known as rectangular matrices. They are called rectangular matrices, again explainable by their shape, which is different number for both rows and columns. So for rectangular matrix, they will have both rows and columns, but they will not be in any they will not be equal to each other. Instead, it will be something like 1 2 3 2 4 7, or it can also be something like 4 2 3 7 9 8. If you're wondering what these numbers are, I have no idea as well. These are just random numbers. And that's it. These are the 4 types of matrices that you have to know. Alright, now let's go to the last part of this video. I will be wrapping up this video with just the basics of matrix, because I want you to digest in information. If I go too fast, it will be quite difficult to make the connections. Alright, now the next part is identifying the elements. So identify elements. As I told you earlier, the numbers inside the matrix is known as element. So given a matrix, for example, you are given 1 7 3 8, then 4 2 7 9, 3 2 4 6. Just to remind you, all of these are individual numbers. When we go into operations, you'll start to understand what I mean by individual numbers. But for now, just remember, these are numbers. They're individual. They're not linked to each other. They're just in the same set. Alright, so here what happens is you have to calculate the columns from the left to the right. Just like you're reading, this is the first column, this is the second column, this is the third, this is the fourth. So just remember, for columns, read from left to right, and for the rows, look from top to bottom. So this will be first, second, third, and fourth. And remember, these are rows. Okay. It's important to make this distinction, and then remember the ordering so that you don't mess up the order, because it's important for you when they're asking you to label a particular element of this matrix. For example, if I ask you the position of the number 9 in this matrix, how would you answer it? Or before that, there's one key information missing. So let this matrix be known as A. So A equals to this entire thing. So what you would do is, to tell the position of the number 9, you will first off start with the letter A. But remember, do not use the same A. If they have given you uppercase A, which is most of the case, By the way, you will be given uppercase letters to represent a matrix. I know exactly why, but it's almost always given like that. And then when you want to determine and identify the element's position, use the lowercase form of it. So for capital A, you'll have small a, which is lowercase a, and then write the number of row followed by the number of the column. So for 9, it's located in the second row, so write 2 right here, then right beside it write 4, fourth column. Remember to write it as subscript instead of the same size, make it subscript. So number 9 is located at position A24. That's about it. So now I'll give you a quick challenge. Tell me the position of the number 1. Yeah, you are correct. Number 1 is A11. Now what about number 8? This is the last one. You are correct. A is 1, 4, because first row, fourth column. That's it. With that, we have come to the end of this video. I hope that you can understand the basic framework of this chapter. And in the next chapter, we will be diving into the basic operations, multiplying, adding, and subtracting. And then after that, in the next video, we will be covering problems related to it. In the problems video, we will also be covering 2 special cases involving this chapter. So stay tuned for them. And I will catch you in the next one. Till then, bye bye.